What's up, YouTube? Today we are talking about the channel update. Alright, so guys, the update for the PS4, we have not gotten our taxes back yet. We should be getting them maybe sometime next week, hopefully. Hey, we got a welcome viewer. But we should be getting something very soon. Maybe Monday or Tuesday, hopefully. Now the deal is, I will be getting Final Fantasy during one of my work checks, but what all I'm getting to improve my PlayStation experience for y'all is I'm getting a mic, getting a controller charger, so that way we ain't have to wait for controllers to charge, and then I'm getting Batman Return to Arkham and Batman Arkham Knight. You know, and all of that is fairly cheap these days because those games have been out for years. And, you know, what better way to, explain how Batman is in my life. You know, Batman is an amazing, amazing character within the DC universe. And all I can say is I am excited to replay all of these. Sorry, I had a lot of pop-ups on this phone. This phone is the worst about pop-ups. But, we must keep the show going, right? But, I'm ready to go back into Batman Arkham because I haven't played these games in a while. And the last one I played was Arkham Knight, and it was such a great game, except for minor... Well, no, these were actually pretty major within the game because you can't go without 5 minutes without something of this happening within the extent. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do full gameplay, full walkthroughs of these games. And I want y'all to see how I defeated the villains. I mean, I know there's only certain ways you can defeat the villains, but the fact is I enjoyed the games. I enjoyed them to their complete extent. And I messed around with the villains a little bit. It was just fun. It was a very fun game. Now, when it comes to Batman Arkham, the first two games were great. I didn't ever have a problem with the first two games. The last game, Batman Arkham Knight, there was only one major detail that I hated within the game. Andy, shut up. You know you enjoy Batman as much as I do. But, all I can say is, guys, is, these games were dear to my heart, and I really want to play them for you. I didn't have a chance to play it with Arkham Knight because I think back then I didn't know how to work the PS4 camera, or not camera, but PS4 gameplay, record and stuff. I think I was dabbling with it a little bit, but now that I have somewhat of knowledge of what I'm doing with it, I'm actually going to make this more entertaining for you than to, have just straight horrible gameplay. Now, if you are a part of my Facebook, if you are my friends on Facebook or whatever, what I'm going to start doing again, like I did with my older games that I was playing, was I'm going to do comment this or caption this. And what I want you to do is I want you to make the stupidest comments you possibly can. Andy is very familiar with this. And that was one of my favorite things to do with the PlayStation in general, was take pictures of the stupidest things or glitches or whatever, and I want someone to comment on these photos that I'm taking pictures of. And I'm going to start back up on that. But yeah, as I was saying, was Arkham Knight was a great game all in all. It was just the major thing that just irritated the crap out of me, and it was the Batmobile. You know, don't get me wrong, the Batmobile was a great addition to it, but it was the fact is you couldn't go without 2 minutes in the game is have a Batmobile battle with the villains' cars and tanks and stuff. And another thing with the Batmobile, like Rockstar made it great. Don't get me wrong. Rockstar, I give you hands down. Y'all are probably one of my favorite game designers, out there. But all I can say is just when Batman is strictly non-violent and he's not meant to kill nobody, but yet this tank is filled with freaking rockets, and apparently they're non-lethal bullets or something that's coming out of this tank. You can tell this is hurting them either severely or actually killing them, just by the way they're being knocked back. And within the gameplay that y'all are going to be watching, I am going to represent what I'm talking about, because when you see the gameplay, you're just like, how in the crap are these guys still surviving? And then Arkham Knight, it's even worse. You have environmental kills now, or you have environmental knockouts now. I want to say kills because some of this stuff is deadly. Like, this could kill you. Alright, so for instance, on Arkham Knight, you can back yourself into an electrical box, right? And this electrical box has like switches and stuff. And then you can grab the enemy's heads and shove them into that electrical box, and you see sparks and stuff fly while this dude's like, just, yeah, like, there's no way in heck that this dude should have survived this violent act. And then you can also cut things off the ceiling, like lampposts and stuff, and it'd fall on an enemy's head, or shove them into a spotlight. Like, in general, these things should kill you, but apparently it's non-lethal in the Batman universe. Like I said, like, Rockstar did a great job with the games. It's just Arkham Knight threw a lot of red flags and question marks in my head, like, this guy should be dead. But all in all, if you go into the detective mode and you can read their stats, it'll say unconscious instead of deceased. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy, because we all know he should be dead. And then, just, it's crazy, man. It's such a great game, though. Like, I loved the graphics of Arkham Knight, and I can't wait to see what's coming up, and, you know, coming up out of the sleeve of Rocksteady now. Like, I can't wait to see what they come up with. I can't. I just can't. Because there's rumors spreading around right now that there's going to be a Superman game. And if they do a Superman game, we all know that Superman is going to get props now. Because the last Superman game that I've seen, I don't play Superman. I'm not a Superman fan. So if all of you Superman fans out there hate me right now, it's too bad. I'm just saying, there has not been one single Superman game that has been good. The last game I ever played with a Superman game, and this is what ruined Superman for me. Like, back then, I didn't really discriminate with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, or anything. But this is what made me wonder what was going through these people's minds. There was Superman 64 back on the Nintendo 64 in the 90s, or early 2000s. Either one works. But it was the fact that the game was not finished. The game had a lot of game-breaking glitches. The game was stupid. The game made no sense. Like, it was... What I want you to do is, after this video, go up on YouTube and look up Superman 64. And I can guarantee you, there is not one person who has played this game actually gives it good reviews. Nobody has given this game good reviews. And then there was Superman Returns, the video game. Don't get me wrong, the graphics were beautiful in the game. Like, they were pretty up there whenever it first came out. But all in all, if you can't perfect someone's like flying in the 21st century in a video game, don't make the game. And then it was the fact that this dude should not be taking this much damage by enemies, period. Like, you can die in this game. I'm just like, Superman doesn't die unless he's around Kryptonite. Or unless he's fighting Doomsday. Either one... Oh, wait, and Batman. Batman could kill Superman. But it was the fact that none of the Superman games have gotten the right to be like, yeah, it's a good Superman game. No. None of those games have worked quite well. It's kind of like Spider-Man, except for Spider-Man has had great Spider-Man games. I have played Spider-Man games my whole life, except for the newer ones. The last one I think I played of Spider-Man, like anything related to Spider-Man, was Spider-Man Friend or Foe. And that was actually a pretty good, you know, beat 'em up. Yeah, Batman has kryptonite on his belt. He could beat Superman. Like, he has a kill switch for all of the Justice League members if they all went rogue. And Well, in addition to that, Superman has went rogue. He could have killed him, but no, in the freaking movie, like, alright, I'm just going to get this off my chest since the Shusher, aka Andy, has brought it to my attention. Batman has kryptonite to his belt, right? Superman went rogue. The only reason why I refuse to watch Batman v Superman, like I watched it once and I cut it off in the middle of it. I could not stand the movie because it was stupid. Like it made no sense, for one. Because, alright, so the only reason why Batman stopped killing Superman was because Superman said Martha. Now, if you are a fan of Batman, Martha was Bruce Wayne's mom. Martha is also Superman's mom. You know, like, he's just, Martha! And then he goes, what did you say? Like, he stops the attack, and then that's it. It's stupid. It's stupid. Just because Superman's mom is also named Martha. So thank you, Shusher, for bringing up that point in my life, because that was the stupidest freaking movie I've ever seen with Batman in it. And I'd never thought you could make a bad Batman movie, but being that Superman was in the movie with him, you know, it kind of just throws all the bad vibes into it. But, like, I like the nitty and gritty, you know, Arkham games. Because, you know, alright, so we've been fans of Batman since, you know, whenever Batman was first out, like 60s and so on and so forth. The last thing I heard was the 60s where the Adam West... No? 60s? 60s. Sounds about right. I don't know. But this is the one with Adam West, the blue Batman cowl and whatnot. That was one of my favorite things, just because if he hits someone, it says pow or bang or blah blah blah, but like just in general, guys, all I can say is, guys, is anything Rocksteady makes, I'm gonna have to play, just because they have done nothing but make a great name for themselves. It's kind of like a Rockstar. They've made great names for themselves. Ubisoft. They've made a good name for themselves. I wouldn't say great name because some of their games were crap. And I'm a huge Ubisoft fan. There's just a lot of games out there that kind of just fell through the cracks. But Rocksteady has managed to keep it going. Alright, so the question here says, why don't you like the indestructible alien whose only weakness is a rock? The fact, like, I never said I didn't like him, I'm not fond of him. I'm not a huge fan of him. Like, I know a lot about him, I just don't really care to know about him, you know what I'm saying? It's the fact that Superman, I don't know. I'd rather root for the dude who's just a normal human being, who's a billionaire and can buy whatever he wants. That's just who I am. Dumb dog. But yeah, that's just who I am. I'm a Superman fan. Oh, I'm a Batman fan. But the reason why I'm not fond of Superman is his only weakness is a rock. And apparently everyone on Earth can get it. I mean, let's take Lex Luthor. He's another billionaire in the DC universe. And, you know, he builds a robotic suit that can kill Superman. How, you may ask? He has kryptonite within the suit. Like the chest piece of the suit, that's where the kryptonite lays. So whenever he wants to use it against Superman, he pulls that crap out. Or Batman. He's got kryptonite in his pocket. Anybody on Earth apparently can obtain Superman. I would it's the fact that just anyone can obtain kryptonite to kill Superman, and that's just it's tedious. Why create something that is the only weakness of Superman that everyone can obtain? Like, just where are they getting this? The planet explodes. I understand that there's meteors that can fall down, but that's like what, 1 in 1,000 chances of finding this thing? And everyone supposedly has it in, you know, Metropolis? Just why? why. Alright, so before I end this video, I am going to try and start a revolution on the fighting mechanics. Not fighting mechanics. You'll see what I'm saying. Alright, so what I want you to do is leave a comment down below of who you think you should win this bout. Alright? I'm going to come up with the most randomest thing, and I want you to decide who can win it. Alright, so we've got Dante from Devil May Cry. Oh, by the way, don't only tell me who's going to win, tell me why you think he's going to win, and leave details behind of why you think he's going to win. So we've got Dante from Devil May Cry versus Spawn. Now, if you're a huge fan of Spawn, Spawn is this hell spawn, and he goes and kills bad guys with on Earth and blah 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 blah. He does whatever he thinks is right. So Dante from Devil May Cry, who is pretty much death with a blade, versus Spawn. I'm gonna leave you guys to that, and I'll talk to you guys later.